Hi everyone, Suzanne from Westline. Thanks for coming along to watch our masterclass on staircases today. We do hope you find it useful and inspiring when it comes to making some great design choices for your home. Just a bit of background on Westline. We're based in County Durham. We've been around since 1987, offering bespoke architectural staircases, balconies and balustrade, all designed, fabricated and installed to your personal requirements. During the masterclass today, I will be joined by some of the members of the team, Tinks, Michael and Craig, and here's a little run through of what we plan to cover. We hope you all enjoy. So why a staircase? This will cover all the benefits a feature staircase can offer you. These are the things you need to consider when looking at including this in your home. And these are all the technical words that you might often hear when discussing staircases. So this is as the title suggests. We'll work out how to cover the measurements when designing your bespoke staircase. And this is simply just the best place to position your staircase. And for this part, we'll go through the various designs that are available and how they work. So building a floating staircase, this is more of technical information and a bit about the installation process. We'll run through a brief recap of all the building regulations. And then finally, the ways to contact us to discuss your ideas in further detail.
Hi there, I'm Tinks, and first of all I'd like to chat to you about the benefits of having a feature staircase. Now, staircase design is often not given enough thought or planning, and surprisingly people can actually forget that it's the first thing that you see when you enter a home. Quite often people think about making improvements to their bathroom or their kitchens instead of your staircase, which is the kind of thing that can provide a real wow factor when somebody walks into your home. Using glass can really brighten up the home and boost the mood of those living there. It's great for smaller spaces as well because it can make rooms appear bigger and taller, creating the illusion of extra space. Now, these kinds of staircases definitely aren't just suited to one style of property. Whether you're looking for a completely new staircase or actually to refurbish your existing one, glass can improve the overall feel and appearance of your home, and it offers endless potential to transform the space both practically and aesthetically. Now, when designing your staircase, the options are huge. There's floating staircases, cantilevered, straight flight options, as well as others. And with a choice of treads in glass, wood and concrete, as well as multiple handrail options, you can really make your staircase your own. Now, floating staircases, as we've already mentioned, can really open up the home, let the light in and create a really stunning look. It can open up the smallest of entrances and landings to create a feature with that all-important wow factor. A floating staircase is often made from high-quality oak, glass and steel and appears, as the name suggests, to float from the wall to the floor. Now, there are of course some incredibly important factors to consider before getting started with your staircase, and perhaps most importantly is the structural design. So this requires an engineer or a company with the relevant expertise to ensure that your staircase is both strong enough for purpose and also meets with the building regulations. Together we can discuss the best size, location, style and layout for your staircase, as well as the various materials that you might like to consider that we've already mentioned. Now, before we go any further, we thought it might be useful to cover some of the terminology or jargon that we use along the way. And we thought for this, it might be best to get some expert help from one of our install teams. So they're going to chat us through some of the most common terms used when talking about all things stairs.
The rise. This is the height from the top of one tread to the top of the next. The total rise. This is the measurement from the finished floor below to the finished floor level above. The go or going. This is the measurement from the nose of one tread to the nose of the tread above or below. The pitch or angle of the staircase. This is the steepness of the stair, typically given as an angle from the horizontal. The overlap. This is the overhang from the nose of one tread over the next. And the tread. This is simply the part of the step that you stand on.
The first thing to look at when designing the staircase is the size. To calculate what size staircase you require, you should start by measuring the total rise. You can then work out the number of risers you need. The acceptable rise and go varies under the building regulations according to the type of building, whether it's domestic, public or industrial. A domestic staircase needs a rise of between 150 and 220 millimeters. Standard risers are around 200 millimeters, so try to keep to this as much as you can. As an example, a total rise could be 2,600 millimeters, which would easily divide into 13 lots of 200 millimeter risers, or steps, but every staircase will vary. The next step is to calculate the number of treads. Generally, you will need one less tread than the total number of risers. After that, you need to work out the going. To comply with the regulations, the minimum going should be 220 millimeters, whilst the pitch of the staircase should not exceed 42 degrees. When it comes to staircase width, there are no restrictions as such. Standard flights measure 860 millimeters, and for a main staircase, it is agreed that a width of between 8 and 900 millimeters works best.
Each house will differ when it comes to staircase design. The position of your staircase should be based on your own layout. The recommended place for the base of a staircase is somewhere near to your front door, and if possible you shouldn't have to cross another room to reach the stairs from the front door. So this is absolutely crucial if there's a third storey to your house, as the stairs will effectively act as a fire escape. As well as this, there are other fire regulations to take into consideration and comply with. So when thinking about your staircase location, you should also take into consideration the natural light that filters in, and avoid putting your new staircase anywhere where it will block out that natural light. So straight staircases may be simple to fit in design, but they aren't always the best option. There'll be times when they simply won't fit, or they won't work with the interior design scheme. In this situation, you'll need to start to think of an alternative design. Now this is usually done by introducing 1, 2 or a series of turns. When turns are required in a staircase, the simplest option is to split the flight into 2 and connect them with a 90-degree quarter turns landing. If you were to use a 180-degree turn, it would be known as a half landing. Steps that turn corners while climbing are called winders and are often used to navigate 90-degree turns. A turn consisting of 3 winders is known as a kite winder. These are often used at the top and the bottom of flights to get round corners. Now, spiral staircases can be a useful feature where space is very limited, but do bear in mind that they are often better as a secondary staircase, as they can be very difficult to get large items like furniture up and down. A standard staircase has treads spanning 2 stringer supports, but a floating or cantilevered staircase has a single stringer that's often hidden behind a plasterboard wall supporting cantilevered metal treads. This is what gives the illusion of floating stairs. Commonly, each tread is fabricated out of 2 rectangular hollow sections measuring 120 by 60 by 6 centimetres with an oak shoe slipped over the top. This gives a stunning, solid looking finish that doesn't extend to the wall or glass, creating a shadow gap. In this case, the treads also provide support for the glass balustrade, which is fixed in place using pre-stressed glazing bolts and pre-drilled holes.
Here's a recap to go back over the main regulations. These are the requirements to ensure your staircase is designed safely. Private staircases should have a maximum rise of 220 mm and a minimum going of 220 mm. They should have a maximum pitch of 42 degrees. Flights should have a handrail on at least one side if they are less than a metre wide, and on both sides if they are wider than this. Handrails on stairs and landings should have a minimum height of 900 mm and a maximum of 1 metre. No openings in any balustrading or risers should allow the passage of a 100 mm sphere. A minimum of 2 metres of clear headroom is required above the pitch line.
So that brings us to the end of the masterclass. Thank you for taking the time to watch. If you do have any further questions you would like to ask, please come and find us in Hall 1, send us an email or give us a call. Would love to hear about any upcoming projects you may have. It would be useful for us, if there is anything you like the look of, if you could send some images of this, as well as your existing staircase, just so we can get a true feel for exactly how we can help. We really hope that you enjoy the rest of the virtual weekend, and thank you again for watching.